we're back. And we're about to head into our downtime. Now that we've finished the sad part of the game. Or saddest.
The saddest, usually.
Yeah. We were picking a crew advancement because we realized in the break that we need to do a crew advancement. So I just wanted to check, are there some new options for this, Andrew?
There is one new one.
There's one new crew ability on our sheet, and then
it's beautiful. It's called a move.
Yeah, called a move.
Yep.
And then there's also all of the shit from Enemies of Dreams now, which has gone live. So there's a bunch of weird stuff we could pull.
I do want to play In a Maze of Dreams. I really, really want to play that. I gotta queue
You'll have to be in my playtest group for it.
Yes, please. But did we decide what we wanted to choose? As far as what our
I'm still pretty happy with Academy trained.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
And stuff. Would you be cool with that, Melody?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Cool. We are
So
Academy
each of us
trained.
can add +1 to perceive, flow, or analyze.
Cool.
So that's a one-off thing, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
A one-time.
And it doesn't matter, like when we're not transcended, it doesn't matter. We still can't access that, right? We're still limited to 2 dice.
Yeah, your skills cap at your actions cap at 2 while you're not transcended. While you're transcended, you can have
as many dice as you want.
Your higher rating, but these dice will apply while not presuming that they fall within that.
Yeah.
This isn't like the other move, which I think we already have, where we get extra dice while we're transcended.
Yeah. Also, I just want to put out there for our next crew advance, I kind of like the idea of shared burden from In a Maze of Dreams. If your social link action includes sharing your dark secrets or inner pains, clear 2 stress and your friend marks 1 stress, they ask you 1 question from their gather info list.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we've done that. So we've got that now. And that's good because we don't have to like transfer it anywhere. And who wants to do the first downtime action? Yeah.
Me.
Ooh,
Do it.
I have one. Can I go first so I can do my Dark Edgelord thing and then you can bring me back from the ring?
And fix you. Yeah.
Acceptable.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, I would like to take the Tend the Shrine downtime action.
Right. Yeah.
Our special cool new one that we get.
Yeah. I'd forgotten about that. Cool.
That's a thing that we can do.
Shall I jump us back to... Also, I would like to point out, Luke, you said that you were like, oh, you forgot to remove coffin lice from the thing? No. I did not forget.
It's not just coffin lice, it's also Tsukiyomi is still listed on there.
I've removed Tsukiyomi. I'm not removing coffin lice.
Cool. I just like, there was, I could see stuff on there from last time and I was like, we should just
I'll move it to where it belongs.
make sure we're all up to date.
Because it is a condition that Withering of Surgat has.
Yes, it is.
Oh, right, that's what it was. It's
a clock.
Infested the...
It's a bad clock.
And that clock has not gone away.
Yep. Yeah, so I think what this looks like, I just want to check, Mel and Andrew, do you remember if we described what the Shrine of Eyes looked like last time when we took it?
Do you want to describe
Could
this?
could someone remind me what this is
Emma
as
was
an
out of the
action?
conversation for this.
Right. Yeah. Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me
Okay.
about
So
this.
one of the advances you can take from In a Starlit Kingdom is that the crew are shrine keepers, and there is a magical shrine that they have access to, and there is a special downtime action that's called like Attend to the Shrine, and if you take it, there is the whole crew gets a cool themed benefit for the rest of the next mission. And you can get the Fox Shrine, the Valkyrie Shrine, or the Shrine of Eyes. And we picked the Shrine of Eyes.
Yeah.
The Shrine of Eyes.
Emily
The benefit is.
What's that?
You were the casting vote because we asked you because you were off screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the
that's
Shrine of
right.
Eyes
I had no
is-
idea what the context was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
The Shrine of Eyes is the crew can recognize anyone who is an agent of darkness for what they are. Ask a follow-up question when gathering information. And then the question it asks us is, anyone under the influence of the darkness has a telltale sign revealed by the shrine. What is it?
So yeah, we get to ask extra follow-up questions whenever we gather info.
And also, we just know when
we
someone's
know
an
when-
agent of darkness.
Yeah.
And so
Did we
I'm.
decide how we know? Did we answer that question?
We haven't because we haven't used it yet. So I'm about to open that ability for us for this mission because I feel like we're going to be doing some dealing with internal strife bullshit today.
Also, this like I could be on the wrong track, but it's not just like my reading is it's not just people who are agents of darkness. It's people who are under the influence of darkness, which it could include people who are in eclipse, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it could.
And I think it's not like this person is a bad person, but it's just like,
they're being influenced.
They are touched by the darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first things first, I'm gonna describe my cool scene that I do, and then Andrew, it's unclear if you have to roll to do that action or if it's just an action tax.
you just spend the downtime action and get the thing.
Cool. All right, I'm just gonna narrate a cool thing, then I don't even have to worry about dice. So I think what happens is, since we haven't seen the Shrine of Eyes in play yet, do you all mind if I just make up some bullshit?
No, that's fine.
Go for it. I feel like you are well positioned to do so.
Yeah. So, I think we see Swift, and it's just very recently after her experience being taken out to look at this destroyed settlement. And she's and we know this, right, because she's wearing the same clothes. And her hair is right. It's clearly a shot from the same continuity day of shooting, if we imagine this television show. And she's all of the emotion that she wasn't showing when she was there because she didn't want to give Alastor the satisfaction is just totally clear to read now. And so she's really pale and kind of slightly unhealthily pale, and her eyes are really bruised underneath. We can tell she hasn't been sleeping very well, and her hair is ever so slightly wafting in a breeze right now, just vaguely reminiscently of when it fucking caught fire when she went into weird dark eclipse mode. And her hands are just keep clenching into fists she wants to hurt something. And we just cut in on her storming through the corridors of the unconquered sun that triumphs over heaven. And every couple of steps, she it's like that computer glitch thing where the whole screen half flickers for half a second and is offset. That keeps happening to her every couple of steps because she's slightly out of phasing with time. And she goes into the shrine. And I think the shrine is in the head of the unconquered sun, right? I think that the head of it, the engine room, maybe above it is a lookout where the shrine was then installed.
Yeah.
And so she goes into this shrine, and its walls are lined. It's all black, right? The entire it's totally black. It's totally closed off. There's no windows. There is a single opening in the ceiling from which this tiny little beam of light enters the room, and it's really, really bright in contrast with the complete darkness of everything else. And then all over the walls of the room are these glass mirrored eyes, just set into the, so it's black walls and then just all of these weird mirror eyes set into them. And I think she goes into the room and she closes the door behind her. We're in nearly total blackness. We can just really dimly see her lit by this single coloring, this single beam of light. And she's I don't think she's talking under her breath. I don't think she's that kind of a person, but she's just everything about her is very reminiscent of the anger that we see anytime that Alastor is brought up or she is present with him in a scene. This is very clearly about him.
So I just wanted to check. Alastor is the torturer and Camail is the historian. Oh,
sorry. I mean Camail in that case.
Yeah, I was gonna check. Yeah.
I just somehow got it confused in my head. No, I mean Camail, the bad, shitty, dodgy historian man who I hate with a burning passion.
I can't remember his name.
And oh god, I think one of the reasons we know is because she has his book Like, whichever one of his books is just the most, like, bullshit and personally offensive to her is, like, in her hand, and she's, like, squeezing it so tight that, like, her knuckles have gone white, and, like, her fingers are, like, digging into the cover, and, like, it's bending under the pressure of her grip.
Yeah.
And then she, like, puts the book down and takes this deep, frustrated breath, but, like, there is no release of... like, she does the ritual breath, but there's no release of tension from her shoulders. And she just stoops down, picks up from the floor like a mirror, like a pick-upable, transportable round little mirror that is like slightly... Which is the one that curves like that?
I mean, both
Is
of
that
them
concave
curve
or
like
convex?
That. Convex is out, concave is in.
Concave.
Okay.
Convex. The one that goes out.
So, like a fisheye.
Yes, that one. Yeah, and so she takes this mirror and she uncovers it, and like she spits on the book, which like is not very ritual behavior and she would normally never do, and she starts like cursing Camael. Like, actually legitimately pronouncing, cursing. Like, some ancient forgotten curse in the language. And she's, like, in language, and I don't think we've ever heard that before.
Like her language? Yeah.
Her language. And it's, like, subtitled, and it is just, like, she's, like, spitting the words like they are, like, so hot that they are burning her mouth, and she can't, like, hold them in anymore. And, like, her voice is, like, rising to just this, like, anguished, like, scream, and, like, tears are running down her face, and she, like, finishes and, like, slams her foot down on the book and like grinds it into the floor under her heel, and then takes the black like velvet off this like portable mirror and lays it under the beam of light, where it then throws that light all through the room, where that light then reflects off these like 1,000 mirrored eyes, and she is just like in this like constellation of stars that kind of look a bit like some of what we've seen of heaven, but there's just like eyes just like everywhere, like watching. And that's the shrine. That's what the sequence looks like.
That's cool. I love it.
And now I need to ask all of you, because I think Mel is absolutely right. What sign of the influence of the darkness does she see in herself under the light of this thing?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, what's the telltale
So
sign?
we don't have any... We haven't seen anything on screen as yet about, like, that sign.
Yeah.
We just know that, like, there is, like, a special sign of the influence of the darkness that we can perceive when we are like blessed by the sign, the Shrine of Eyes.
So we
that,
have
like,
darkness
gives
that is like
people,
split into two. We have darkness that is ghosts of the people that we've killed, and we have darkness that is that are the gods that we like wanted to appease and be like, but have rejected us.
Yeah, I feel like they probably have different there are different signs of those two kinds of darkness.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, in which case do we feel
your sign is
experiencing?
I think your sign is of ghosts.
Yeah, I think this is of the ghosts in the same way that I think like I think everything that's wrong in the Bastion is also about like the ghosts and the ghost of our past and like this terrible history.
Yeah.
Like I think I think that's what she was looking for. Right? Like
I have a thought about how this might manifest, which is if it's ghosts of people for whom you bear some responsibility, is it just that you see them standing behind you when you look in the mirrors?
It's pretty cool.
I like the idea that mirrors reveal the telltale sign.
Or like reflective surfaces.
Reflective surfaces.
Yeah.
Emily?
Reflective surfaces and shadows. Right? Like
I mean, I was gonna be like super on the nose and just say like blood on their hands, but like that's too.
No, I really like that. I had a visual from that, but I think I'll save it for a specific like instance or something, because I think it still fits within what you've said there.
Yeah. So I think this is the end of this scene. So like she closes her eyes, she takes the cloth off, she lays it down, like we the audience see the room all like, and it's all like it's these like beautiful like cosmic like star field with all of just these like eyes watching, and then she opens her eyes and we see just like infinitely mirrored in these eyes, like her entire culture.
Yeah.
Like 800 years worth of people, like just like, because she feels like she's responsible for like all of it and none of it at the same time. Like they're all like indistinct and they keep like fizzling out because like her eclipse is also telling her like, no, all of this is fate, like none of this is, you bear responsibility for none of it. And she just has this like deeply conflicted moment where like like we see the endless army of her people, but I don't know if she even can. I think maybe she just doesn't see them.
Because I love the fact that like whether or not you're responsible is like a moral reality in our world, right? Like there is a moral objective reality that says you were responsible for these people's deaths.
And this has come up before too. Like this is actually reincorporating from a lot of the stuff from the mission where we went to the village, right?
Yeah.
Where like the souls of the people were still there and still cared about who did what and why.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
there is an objective
And so that's my first downtime action.
Cool. Who wants to take Kristen Rama? Do you want to take one?
Yeah, we're gonna make Swift stop being awful.
Good luck.
I mean, you can make
good
it stop
luck,
being
Andrew.
an eclipse at least.
Right, yeah.
Wow. Harsh.
Yeah, great.
Sick burns from Ash.
Ash, bring in the fire
Yeah.
today. All the judging ghosts are just Ash's face. She's pointing the finger at you.
Yep.
Just 1,000-fold. So Kristen and Rom will probably like catch you while you're tromping back from having done this curse or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think you're walking by a room and you've never seen the door to this room be open before, but it's like it's their room. They've just never had anyone in there. And so like as you're walking by, one of them, we'll say Romer.
Oh, hang on. Haven't we seen your room before?
We definitely have.
Full of like little like changing nooks to hide in and like spring forth from.
We saw it when you did an action with me.
Yep.
Oh right, I took you there.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, well
Yeah.
you have.
There could be an inner sanctum to your room. Like I think conceptually, I think
Swift hasn't been there, so we're gonna take you in.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like Romer is just like in the hall, kind of like waiting, like doing something else. But as soon as you come by, they're like, just one moment, if you could, like, they just kind of like fluster you into their space. Like they don't let you talk. They're just like, but it's and then like the door closes and like all the lights are out. And Romer is like still standing very close, and they just say, Chris thought it would be very important. I don't really, it's not my kind of thing, but just we thought that we should show you. I mean, they want to. This one is called, and like they go into like announcer mode. Chris' life. It's the first draft. It's still working on it, and then like there's the sound of like running. And they like run off to like get to like open this window that then goes to a mirror that then is like a spotlight. And there's and it's like Chris, and throughout this whole scene they're just like they're dancing. This is like an interpretive dance number with Romer like narrating. And they proceed to like like they're just gonna tell Chris' story, because there's been all this talk of like, oh, this and that person's story and all these other things, and so of course Trist wants to like express their own, like their actual self, which you see like as something that's fated to die or go away. And so it's this like, I don't know, I can't really like describe like dance very well, but just, well, John Harper it, picture a deeply moving and like tragic dance that talks about, and there's some like narration too, and so it's essentially about how like this kid was never permitted to like form their own identity, and how it's this like precious secret thing that they carry with them. And so there's this, I think there's one prop, and it's like a tiny music box, and there's all these moments of like it being shut and things going silent, and like shuffling around and being really like rigid and upright and pretending to be someone else, and then like the looking over the shoulder, the putting down of this box and opening it, and this like tiny plinky music box tune playing while they dance. This like, it's just like the most beautiful, like it's like, you know, very formal like ballet style dancing, but it's just like totally beautiful. And then there will be these like harsh cuts where like the lights go out and it changes. They go back to like behaving in this different way. And yeah, this is them trying to communicate this story to you. But I guess we're social linking. Is this something that Swift would enjoy?
Yeah, right? Like,
It's
great.
It's a good question. God. In this state of mind, I think no, because this is just a reminder of like the thing that is going to be lost when you succumb to your like
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to
awful
enjoy
fate.
it. You don't have to enjoy this heartfelt bearing
Yeah,
of
it's
my
fine.
soul,
Whatever. It's
Swift.
no big deal.
Well, like I'm not saying
My
they don't
art.
appreciate. I'm not saying she doesn't appreciate it. She doesn't enjoy it because she's like, this beautiful thing
Yeah.
is fated to die.
As
Like,
long as it's clear that it's your
you're
fault,
making it
you're not enjoying it,
worse.
it's fine.
Yeah.
And so I think this is flow, because they're dancing, it's moving with grace. So I'm gonna roll flow, see how well I do. All right, so you get a social link. You get a
yay.
social link with Kristen Roman. You won.
Okay,
but
can I throw a thing in here? Because I feel like that is really interesting, that number. I'm wondering whether, at least from Swift's perspective, and maybe objectively, is there a point in this beautiful dance where Hrist forgets the next move? Like forgets part of the the bit that is, you know, their story. There's just like a tiny moment where they're not like sure, or they like misstep or something, and that's the thing that like Swift is getting stuck on, is like this moment of like, oh yeah, of course you're gonna forget it. Like,
Can I take this and make this sadder?
yes,
I'm just throwing.
Can I
it
take can I take that and make it sadder?
keep piling on the sadness.
Keep piling on the
It's fine.
sadness. What if like it's basically that thing of like, yeah, like there is a moment that Swift is like fixated on that she just like, can't get over, and she just gets like stuck like a little bit in the back of her own head, just like trying to come to terms with that thing, which is that like there is a moment where you are playing where Hrist is playing themselves, like that's what's meant to be happening. Like the music box is open, like within the space of the dance, but they're clearly playing one of the other characters. Like they've got they've forgotten, and they're doing the mannerisms of like a character and not themselves. And it's like a tragic, and like Swift is like, oh god, like it's already started.
I mean,
Like,
I
it's
don't
just-
know, Andrew. That's like, I don't know.
Yeah, Andrew, it's up to you.
I think that happens, but Hrist catches it and they stop, and they're
Yeah.
like, they're upset by it, like they
Yeah.
start like crying alone in this spotlight with this tiny music box still like plinking away, and it like comes to a stop while they're crying, like it's wound out, and it was like almost the end. And then like impossibly close to you in the darkness is Romer's voice again, just saying like, they've been working very hard, but it's not quite right, and this, you know, like just kind of like making excuses for them. And try to be like, oh, but it's gonna be great. And
This is really hard because right now my character is terrible, but also I, as a person, I'm like, no, but I want it to be okay. I want to make it better.
shit.
But my character wouldn't do
Luke.
that.
Luke, I
and
love that you and
to
I
just-
thought we could out-sad Andrew. Like, oh fuck.
and just to drive it, to just turn the screws even more, Romer says, but, well, they say that no matter what, they're going to do it, and it's very important. They wanted you to see it, you especially, and like their hands are on your shoulders, being like, this is for you, and so just make sure that you applaud. Now's the time to applaud. Say it was good. And then like Robert starts just like very aggressively while walking up, be like, yes, very good, and like clapping.
Yeah, and I think like, so here's the thing. I'm gonna make this sad. So if
You're going to make it sad.
if Swift were not in Eclipse and still and like was in a state to believe that she could change this and save Crest, she would go over and like rewind the music box. But she doesn't, because she can't. That's not how the world works. There's nothing she can do to stop the song from coming to an end. Like, that's what's going to happen. And so I think she just looks like, God, like, just like really wistful, longing, but with this like deep like sense of sadness. And she just like slowly starts to clap. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not willing to like let this moment end. So Chris like knows that like Chris heard Ron being like, "Oh, you have to clap" or whatever, and Chris is just like, "No, I know it's terrible. Okay, you don't have to." And like just quiet. Look, I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep practicing. Okay, just come back later. It'll be good. And just like is like very like huffy and just kind of like crosses their arms and kind of like looks away, and Romer tries to then like reassure them and be like, no, it really was great. And the two of them kind of have this like little argument, but Chris is being really like stodgy about it. And
yeah, that whole like creative
petulant
like,
thing.
Like of like, no, I know it's shit and it's going to be better. Yeah.
Because they kind of need that. And they like cross the distance to Swift and just say, "Tell me honestly, what did you think about it?"
God, I'm already getting upset thinking about it. I think she reaches out and she like, God, I'm just trying to think. Is physical touch a thing that we've ever seen these two do? Like, not just like the passing physical touch thing that Tristan and Brahma always do, but like intentional.
They're really handsy and like push people around and treat them.
But like mutual, consensual physical touch.
That has
so I think they reach out and they like put their like rest their hand on like the back of Chris's head and like lean in and like touch their foreheads together. And I think we see like a single tear roll down Swift's cheek, and she just says like it was beautiful, but her voice breaks in the middle of the last word because that just makes it worse.
No.
And so Chris is just like, well, don't cry. No, it's not a sad story. My story's not a sad story. And like they like are telling this to Romer as much as to you, kind of thing. Like it's clear that they've had this conversation before, and they're like, no, I don't care. We're gonna leave this place one day, and I will have a happy ending. I swear. And they like turn back and are like shouting around. It's like, not gonna be like you say it is. And they're having this argument, but it's like we, the audience, know that this is actually directed at you. Like, even though the characters aren't doing it.
It is performed at me. Yeah. Like, that's the point of the argument. This
is written this way in the show to be about how like they don't know that you're being all negative, but we know. We get this parallelism.
Yeah, God.
And so Christ is just like very stubbornly insisting that their story isn't going to end in tragedy, and they're like arguing with their other half about it in front of you. And I am done. I've said everything I need to say.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I feel very sad and impressed.
God.
Also, I remembered a thing, which is that the flow die is Romer's. Chris doesn't have it, so Chris is actually like terrible at dancing formally, but there was probably this really like rough-hewn kind of beauty to it, where it was like really like raw and unrefined.
Yeah. It was the like skin all peeled back, emotionally expressive. Oh fuck.
So fitting.
That was a lot, buddy. Pal.
Hey, what can you do?
That was real good.
Ah,
are you out of Eclipse yet? You sad sack. Come on.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, right? Because so the prompt is you can only escape Eclipse when your fated person defies your predictions and shows you that they can alter the course of fate.
I mean, I feel just to butt in here, I feel
no, totally.
like,
I am open to statement.
I feel like what I can see there is that like the performance itself did not do that, but I feel like Chris's determination and like drive is like maybe the thing there. Like I guess it's a question of, does Swift believe that Chris is determined to find like a happier ending, like an ending to their story that doesn't like
I think that is probably the thing. Yeah, I think that's the thing that does it, right? Like that's the thing that tips it over. Is like Chris is like so like fiercely determined, like, and I think also some part of it is like internal to Swift, and this idea that like connects with like the entire like big like story as significant motif thing that she's tied into, that like as long as people remember Chris's story and remember like the beautiful song and the metaphor, like the whole story won't be fractured, as long as like it is remembered, like even if the literal representation of it like goes away. And so I think like it's like a legacy thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
And so God, I think Swift just like, so like they're having this argument, and I think and like Chris keeps insisting that it's not a sad story, and like stop crying, you big baby. And I think Swift manages to like pull herself together enough to like kind of like smile, like do that like a brave smile though I really want to cry thing, like weak, unsteady, like wobbling smile, and like goes over and like takes Chris's hand and just like holds it like really kind of uncomfortably tightly, and then I think just like fucking loses it. Like she just like drops to her knees, and like all of the emotion that she should have like processed when she saw like the gravesite of her people that was her fault, like all of that just comes like pouring out.
Yeah.
And Chris is like, oh, that's awfully much, isn't it? It's not that good. And like,
right.
Like,
there's like a really awkward hug, and it like
the two of them kind of like take care of you a bit and are you know, do some low level caretaking, but you're just big old.
That's
you just pat the tears back in. It works. You just pat them back in. You just scoop them back into their eyes. I do it all the time. Don't worry.
She does this all
and
the
so
time.
Andrew, just to double check, I do reset transcendence, but stress just stays where it is.
Let's see. There's rules for.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember because I haven't done this before.
When you escape Eclipse, if you are in downtime or free play, erase any remaining stress. Clear your transcendent clock.
Oh shit. Okay, so I'm going into the next session like stronger than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, you wasted one of my downtime actions.
Wasted.
Wow.
Wasted.
Now I'm just out of spite, I'm just not going to spend that downtime action, that social link with you. I'm just not going to spend it. If that's how you feel.
No, our relationship matters. Clearly.
Gosh.
Oh, that was a lot. Hey, friendos. Whew. Oh, I'm gonna have a drink of water.
Yep, fair.
Gotta recruit some of this water that leaked out of my face.
Cheers.
Yep.
Okay, a little bit of bookkeeping. I get 2 free pie slices on any project clock, which means I get to complete my Understanding the Leviathan Pod clock, Ash.
Yeah, so, wait, is this the bead?
This is the weird, thing that was in the frog thing.
Yeah.
So I'll just let you like percolate on that for a bit, and we'll come back to it later.
Let me think
good?
about it.
Who wants to have the next sad
tell me
downtime
first,
action?
what did you already know about it? What is your current understanding?
I don't think we had much of an understanding.
No, because you did pretty poorly
Made
last
the
time.
frog a vessel for the god? Question mark.
That was this like vague impression is what we have.
Okay, cool. Does someone else want to do a downtime?
So Ash, just to pile onto that, essentially my own personal conception, like me, Andrew the player, is that these are like in Steven Universe when things get poofed and just are a gem. It's kind of like that is how I'm envisioning these things, that it's like something that is, or that this is like the engine like object or whatever. That this
Yeah,
is
Like
like
just add water, right?
Yeah.
Yep. There's something like that there.
Yeah, that it's kind of in that space.
Yeah. Yep. No, there's something like that there. I have an understanding of what it is, but I want to do another scene because I don't want to jump from a Hriston Rama scene to like another Hriston Rama scene.
Yeah, and let's do something a little bit more.
Adna or
upbeat.
Cert, do you want to do a downtime?
Yeah. I just want to check quickly. Does anyone actually have any injuries other than Adna?
Yeah.
Everyone but us.
Yes.
By us, I mean
I
my
have
characters.
I have a 2 harm and a 1 harm.
Oh shit, you get on that.
Wow. What are your 2 harm
I'm-
and your 1 harm?
I have wrung out, which is 2, and I have tinnitus, which is 1. I still have.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Which I imagine like being repeatedly like smashed in the face probably didn't help.
Yeah. No. Cool. Well, I think I would like to help Suet recover then. Which I think what happens is, again, Adna like shows up semi-incognito at Suet's front door, like probably trying too hard to be like covert, you know, like, or a little comically so.
She got like a big hat and like
Yeah, absolutely.
Like some
Like
dark glasses, even though it's
a
nighttime.
cloak with a hood and like,
Yes.
Groucho Marx glasses with the red moustache.
and like some like code phrase.
Mm-hmm.
Or
that's so,
probably quite unnecessary.
that's so cute. I love
Yeah, and like, you know, like knocks on Suet's door,
Yeah.
and asks to come in.
Yeah. So I think he opens the door, and we get like very much a classic like I am beaten up, but in a kind of like impressive and attractive. Just imagine that. Like he's not wearing a shirt. He's like got like bruises and like crusted
Right.
like
Sorry, are
you know.
Yeah.
Are you currently being James Bond beat up?
Yeah, exactly.
Aesthetically beat up. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like the bang. Absolutely, yeah, all of that. Like it's just it looks terrible, but like really aesthetic.
But
Yeah,
it acts as like a
totally.
corset, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
well, I mean,
he's
like,
a mess.
Yeah, Adna's like kind of shocked. Like, yeah, goes in. Are you alright?
Oh,
What happened? It's okay. You don't need to talk about it. I know things have been tough. So I brought something for you, and she has a big basket. And she like puts it down on the table. And like
steps aside and like gestures for you to come in and everything.
She like unfolds it, and there's like kind of like whatever in our setting, like a version of bentos inside. She's like,
It could just be a bento.
like, sorry.
Yeah.
It can just be a bento.
Yeah, cool. She's like, I don't know if it's very good, but I've been trying to like cook and like because we talked about it and it was really impressive, and I thought that it might be nice if it's good. It might be nice for you not to have to worry about cooking yourself.
There was that
I
whole
think-
thing where you two cooked together previously, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like, and it was really like, oh my god, you can just cook stuff. This is
Yeah,
amazing.
that's a thing people do.
Yeah.
I've just always had people cook for me.
That's something that help does.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like he like sort of looks like surprised and kind of like stares at it and smiles, like you can see he like it kind of hurts his face because his face is all messed up, but like he's very obviously like impressed and pleased, and I think he sort of, when you say like it, you know, I thought maybe like it would be better if you didn't have to cook. I think he kind of like sort of involuntarily kind of glances over to like the kitchen, and there's just like a giant pot of like coffee or something there, and like no evidence of like any food being made, and it's like probably late in the evening or whatever. Like it's fairly obvious that he was just gonna like not bother.
Great. Yeah. And I think she like lays out like a bunch of food and stuff, and like quite like is quite proper about like, okay, now sit down, and like puts it all out like all semi-formally, and like talks through like what the different things are and that kind of thing. Yeah. And I think like the success, if this role is successful, it means it's good, maybe. And if this role is not successful, maybe it's not very good.
Okay, all right.
Let's see how your cooking is, Adna.
So what do I roll for help someone recover?
Depends on.
Is it just an appropriate?
Whatever action you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is this? This is.
Also, I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally
Empathize, probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking empathize. Yeah.
I'm totally picturing Sort played by Cillian Murphy in this scene, just because you're like beat up, but in the hot way, and my brain just like always goes.
No,
Emily
denied.
will not allow any of her characters to ever be played by Cillian Murphy.
But like you're perfectly welcome to imagine that.
That's right. I'm gonna have whatever headcanons I want.
I haven't entirely decided.
Oh no!
Is it bad?
What's with all the ones?
It's okay. It literally doesn't matter. In fact, I think that's even more like adorable.
Yeah.
So I like to go down the very like cheesy, sad kind of route. I feel like there's a thing where like they're sitting down and eating together, and like Surt's house is like, I think we sort of said this before, or his like quarters is like just very like brutalist, like really fast and like dark, and has like kind of just like very directional lighting that he seems to only like, he'll only light the room that he's in. Like he's very kind of like Spartan about it. It's like I'm only using this space, so I only need this light.
Cool.
So like where you're sitting, there's like probably like and everything is way too big for one person. Like there's like a really sort of massive like marble table or something, that is like just
too
unnecessarily big,
monumental.
Yeah, but not fancy. Just big.
Cool.
And yeah, so
I
you're
just imagine
sitting
being
on
this massive slab of like granite. Or something.
Exactly. Granite is even better. Yeah. So I think like the two of you are sitting like across from each other, and it's like quite a distance or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like there is sort of there is very obviously, as you're eating, like tension about like the fact that you haven't spoken about the whole yelling at each other thing.
Right. Yeah,
like you just haven't talked about that, and like Surt kind of like wants to apologize for it but doesn't know like where to begin, and also it was kind of a thing that you were doing together, so so I think there's very much this kind of tension hanging in the air about that, and I think I don't quite know how this goes, but I feel like it would absolutely be one of those things where like you discuss the food and like how you have made it and what like is good and bad about it, but it's all metaphors. It's just like entirely like
they're having a conversation via talking about the food, but they're not resolving.
No, I think like there's lots of sort of like I'm trying to think I'm trying to think exactly how that would go. I think there are things about he's talking to her about like how she's building her skills and things like that. But like again, it kind of mirrors this sort of idea of her role in the group, and things like that.
Is there a metaphor about like the seasoning being slightly off and there's too much bitterness?
Yeah.
That's like an extended bit about how like things need to be like patched up, but like neither of you really get it. And,
this
like,
is very salty.
Totally. Yeah, totally. And there's like a bit
deliberately avoided going there.
Yeah. Like I'm trying to decide if there's like a bit where, you know, whether we do the whole like he's teary because it's spicy type thing. Like I think that like it's very very much.
Yeah, I mean, like especially if he's been beaten up, he might have cuts in his mouth and shit. Like,
That's true.
Yeah, and at some point, you know, she's like talking about how she was making rice and it was like started boiling over and she didn't know what to do, and you know, stuff like that.
Yeah. So it's all just like it's a metaphor. The whole thing's a metaphor.
And they kind of like talk. So they like introduce the topics of conversation with metaphor, but they don't really take it to that next level where they actually resolve anything.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So with a 1, does that contribute anything towards your?
Yeah, you still have
healing?
1 segment on your clock, on the recovery clock.
So, sorry, I do.
Your recovery clock, Emily, is there should be a thing that says recovery next to your.
Recovery.
Wounds or whatever it's called. Recovery. So that needs to go from 0 to 1.
Okay.
And when you get to 4, you move everything down a rank, including losing your level 1s.
Okay, so I'd lose tinnitus and rung out would become level 1. Okay. Cool. All right.
Cool. Well, I think it's time for another break, and we'll be back for some more downtime in a minute. All right. Catch you soon, chat.